Research evidenced that the Havenkwartier has a maximum allowed capacity of 1,350 individuals on the island. Several interviewees explained that this restricted amount is justified by the fact that currently there is only one access and exit point to and out of the area. This has led to instances in which the different stakeholders active on the island had to abandon the idea of potential co-created events at the location, as the risk of exceeding the allowed capacity would become significantly higher. The second issue that was identified was the entrance that leads from the Pelgrimweg to the Havenkwartier, which appeared unappealing. This was later confirmed by those with whom we engaged, claiming the lack of appeal had an influence on the overall marketing strategy of the area. Ultimately, the third issue that was analyzed is related to the rich amount of unused heritage sites present at the Havenkwartier. The area is in fact well known for its industrial past, and even today you can see, in some cases even visit, these sites. There lies thus even further potential to make use of remaining empty heritage sites, which otherwise might risk to be demolished. We imagined the improvement of the entrance through the implementation of natural elements such as trees, colorful flowers, and maybe a fountain. This intervention would be impactful on a relatively small scale and possibly result in an only temporary solution for Havenkwartier. Our second intervention aimed to find a solution for the capacity issue, wherefore we decided to place a bridge connecting Havenkwartier to the rest of Havenkwartier. This will increase the maximum capacity of the Havenkwartier and will therefore also improve the safety of the place. Our last intervention is a large-scale solution and is mainly aimed for future developments. To find a solution for the unused heritage sites, we decided to create a MICE conference hall in one of the empty buildings. To get to our final chosen intervention, we interviewed several locals at Havenkwartier. During these interviews, we introduced our interventions and explained our exact goals. We then asked them to tell us their favorite intervention and if they had any other tips for us to improve our interventions. Our final choice for the intervention ended up being the implementation of a bridge in order to solve the capacity issue of the Havenkwartier. We believe that this intervention could impact the area positively on the short and long term, as it would not only allow an immediate increase in visitor capacity, but also represent an access and exit point for possible future residents on the island. Besides this, during the interviews, multiple locals told us that they preferred the bridge over the other two interventions, because it would have a positive impact for them and their businesses. This helped us come to the conclusion that to choose the bridge over the redesigning of the entrance and the MICE center.
Okay.
The man speaking in this interview is the owner of a bar in Stek. The most relevant things he said was that the bridge should be high enough in order to let the boats pass through. Furthermore, he mentioned particular wood that was on one of the pictures that should not be implemented, because it could occur that people will slip on it during winter time. The other bridges were all good examples of how he visualized it. The two men speaking in this interview are construction workers at Havenkwartier. These men were concerned about the idea of a parking lot on Havenkwartier, as they want to prevent people parking their car on the island. Therefore, a walking, cycling bridge could solve this problem, because the cars would be parked on the other side of the bridge and so visit the place by foot. Furthermore, Havenkwartier has a capacity of only 1,350 people, because they only have one access and exit point. The bridge could thus function as a secondary entrance and exit point, increasing this capacity limit. More people means more car. That is why the parking lot would be better on the other side of the bridge. Once we decided to go through with the idea of a possible bridge at the Havenkwartier, it became necessary to conduct research on location. This was important in order to understand the local perception of this possible intervention and helped us further understand the criteria and qualities that this potential bridge has to satisfy. The research we conducted focused fundamentally on interviews with local stakeholders and contained various techniques that aim to stimulate an in-depth response of the interviewees. During our visit, we took images of 6 different bridge designs with us. Some of these included bridges that could open, low bridges and high bridges. The locals could choose which design they liked best so that we could come to the best possible intervention. Furthermore, we also brought a map with us on which they could point out on which part of the mark they preferred the bridge to be located. This way, we had a lot of input of locals, which helped us in determining, creating and visualizing our final prototype. Lastly, we created the prototype and designed 2 different bridges with lollipop sticks. These prototypes were also tested at Havenkwartier and we asked them to choose their preferred bridge design and place for the bridge to be located. By using these different interview types and methods, we came to a well-rounded conclusion. We believe that our intervention fits in with the creative and innovative style of Havenkwartier, which is currently blooming. As a matter of fact, we try to use co-creation in the design of our bridges and as well in the placement of the bridge itself. A lot of feedback that we received from STEC and Pier 15 underlined that it was really important for them to participate in the design of the bridge, as it will also be an element that will keep standing in the future of Havenkwartier. The creative ideas that were suggested by the people of STEC and Pier 15 included design elements for the bridge, such as drawings, paintings, specific alignment, all particular creative elements that would give the perfect touch to the bridge and thus make it fit in perfectly in the overall picture of